The night before the wedding, my fiancé snuck into my older brother's bed. They got caught, and my whole family ganged up on me to step aside. My mom had the audacity to tell me to just hand her over. She said they were in love with each other. My dad gave me this cold look. That's enough, Jixing. We're family. Don't sweat the small stuff. Even Liu Ruyan, the girl I loved, just stood there, head down, not saying a word. I didn't scream. I didn't fight. I just quietly packed my bags and left Beijing. Before I walked out, my mom threatened, "You walk out that door, we're done. We won't be there for you. If you drop dead out there, don't expect us to come for your body." I said yes without hesitation and never looked back. The next day, they went ahead and threw that ridiculous wedding. My own brother took my place as the groom, like it was nothing. And I didn't set foot in that house for 6 straight years. Until 6 years later, when I had to come back to Beijing, military commendation ceremony. I was walking out in my dress uniform when I ran straight into Ruyan. Long time no see, Liu Zhixing. I just stepped out of the main gate when I heard a familiar voice. I looked up and locked eyes with her. 6 years had gone by and she'd only gotten more beautiful. Simple linen dress, camel coat draped over her shoulders. Her hair fell loose and those eyes and still just as stunning. Long time no see? I gave her a faint smile, voice completely flat. She clearly didn't expect me to be this calm. She froze for a second, then slowly spoke up. "Mom and Dad heard you're back for the ceremony. They cooked dinner. Come eat with us tonight." The mom and dad she was talking about were my own parents. I paused, then gave a slow nod. Sure, 6 years, it was time. Once I agreed, Ruyan turned and headed off first. About an hour later, I pulled up in my modified Jeep, parked right outside Xingfu Residential Complex. That military green truck looked completely out of place. People kept stopping to stare. I stepped out and looked around, familiar but almost unrecognizable. 6 years had changed everything. The cramped little alley I grew up in was now a full high-rise complex. The corner convenience store had been swapped out for a chain brand, and the old willow tree I grew up climbing, gone. I walked through slowly, surrounded by nothing but strangers. Even old Uncle Sun from next door, someone I'd known my whole life, had moved away. After wandering around, I finally found my way to Unit 3, apartment 502. I rang the bell. Door swung open. My mom came to the door in an oil-stained apron, her once jet black hair now streaked with gray. The moment she saw me, she froze, completely at a loss. "Mom." I spoke first, breaking the silence. She snapped out of it, took one look at her youngest son in uniform, and her voice cracked. "Jixing, you're home. Come in, come in." She was flustered, emotional. I stayed calm. I slipped on some house shoes and walked in. The old, dark, cramped living room had been completely redone, open, bright. Clean couch, neatly arranged. Coffee table actually clear for once. A vase of lilies on the table, almost too picture perfect. The one thing that hadn't changed, the display cabinets on either side of the TV. Packed wall to wall with my brother Liu Jiqi's trophies and awards, going all the way back to when we were kids. Gleaming gold, kind of blinding, honestly. Then my dad walked out of the kitchen with a plate of fresh roasted chicken. When he saw me, he forced an awkward smile. "You're back. Saved you some chicken today, Dad did. Come on, try some." Growing up, whenever they made chicken, both drumsticks always went straight to my brother. I was never even allowed to touch them. This kind of forced warmth just made me feel like a stranger. "I'm good. Military rules. Can't just eat food from outside. I'll sit for a bit and then head out. Flat. Final." My dad's smile stiffened. Something flashed across his eyes. Embarrassment. Must have heard the noise. Ruyan and my brother Liu Jiqi came out of the kitchen together. Jiqi had a clean cut, gold wire glasses sitting on his nose, white dress shirt, black coat, the whole sharp put-together look. When he saw me, there was a flicker of unease in his eyes, but he kept it together. Dinner was painfully quiet. I barely touched my chopsticks. Sitting at that table, I felt like a complete outsider. The four of them chatted about people and things I knew nothing about. I sat in silence. By the time it was getting dark, I checked my watch. I stood up. "It's getting late. I need to get back to the base." "You're not staying? It's been so long. Stay and catch up." My mom jumped in, voice tight. She was practically begging. I looked at her, kept my voice even. "Is there even a room for me here?" Back then, the place only had 3 rooms. One for my parents. One for my brother. The last one was rented out year-round. And I slept on the couch. She clearly remembered all of that. Her face went stiff, eyes full of awkwardness. She rushed to explain, "There's a room for you now. Fresh sheets, just washed and dried. I took care of it." All this long overdue effort, I just shook my head. "It's fine. The base already set me up with a place." I grabbed my jacket, turned around, and walked out. No looking back. Next morning, I changed into civvies and went to check out a spot nearby. On my way out that afternoon, my phone went off. I saw Mom on the screen. My finger hovered for a second. Then I answered. "Jixing, you barely ate anything at dinner. Was the food not good?" "Your dad booked a private room at CG Minfu. Come have dinner with us tonight?" Her voice through the phone, careful, almost pleading. I'd never heard her sound like this. Growing up, it was always accusations, criticism, being ignored. Never this soft. I watched the traffic go by, thought about the gray in her hair, and finally said, "Okay, I'll be there." I hung up and drove over to CG Minfu, pushed open the private room door, and stopped dead. Besides my parents, Ruyan and Jiqi, there was a young woman I'd never seen before. The moment I walked in, my mom jumped up and pulled me into a seat next to her. I was confused. "I thought this was a family dinner. Who is—" Before my mom could say anything, Jiqi cut in, with that forced, casual energy. "Zixing, this is a colleague of Ruyan's from the chess academy. Single, professional Go player, 6th Dan, talented, hardworking, the whole package. We figured this was a good chance for you two to meet. Get settled down. Put Mom and Dad's minds at ease." My dad jumped in, keeping it low-key. No pressure if it doesn't click, just make a friend. When you're back in town, it'll be nice to have someone around. Before my dad even finished, the woman smiled at me. Hi, I'm Shen Wei. Nice to meet you. Your aunt and uncle mentioned you're in the military. Would it be okay if we exchanged contact info? Get to know each other a little. At that point, it clicked. I knew exactly what this was. They dragged me here for a blind date. 6 years of radio silence, and this is the first move they make. I looked across at Shen Wei. Average looks, slim, nothing remarkable. Her whole outfit plus jewelry probably didn't add up to what my watch cost. I spoke up. Miss Shen, since this is a blind date, I'll just cut to the chase. Do you own property inside the second ring road? Did you drive here? What car? Fully paid off. Do you have savings? How much? Any debt? And since you're a pro player, how many titles have you won? Shen Wei was completely caught off guard. She just froze. She fumbled for words, and everyone else at the table went quiet. Actually, I just remembered I have something back at the academy. I gotta head out. Shen Wei awkwardly grabbed her coat, said her goodbyes to everyone, and left. Once she was gone, Jiki turned to me looking heated. Jixing, did you really have to go that hard? Who does that at a blind date? You just scared her off. Who's ever gonna agree to meet you now? I kept my face blank. Isn't that literally the point of a blind date? To talk about what you bring to the table? I looked around the room. Then I landed on my mom. Mom, do you even know what I make in a year? She opened her mouth, nothing came out. I'm a major general now, the pay's not crazy, but I could have 100 times her savings easy. And that Jeep I drove home in? 7 million. 5 properties in Beijing, 3 in Shanghai. I tapped my watch. And this right here. Bro, you couldn't buy this with your entire lifetime salary. I stood up as the whole table sat there stunned. Jiki's face especially fell hard. Mom always used to say, the woman a man marries sets his level in life. So why are y'all setting me up with someone who's clearly not on my level? What's the actual play here? Is this really for my own good? Or can y'all just not stand to see me winning? I had nothing more to say. I turned and walked out. Sometime later, my phone buzzed again. Ruyan's voice. Zixing. You in the mood for some ice cream today? This is me!